Hello, welcome to Lost in Movies. I'm Alec Kerr, the film critic for the Conway Daily Sun, and this week I'm joined by
Jason.
Siobhan.
And we're gonna review, or I'm gonna review Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, because Jason was supposed to see it, but he slept through it. He slept through even going.
Yeah, I didn't even make the theater. I made it to the couch.
So I'm going to review the film, and then we're gonna do a little critic versus critic debate thing. We got 3 categories. Siobhan is going to choose the winner of those categories and see who the overall champion is. But first, check out the trailer.
She's tranked. Okay, come on.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
How many can you save?
11 species. Blue is the last of her kind.
You'll never capture her.
We thought you might know someone who could help.
A rescue op. What could go wrong? Hey, Blue. You know me. Come with me. You know you can't stay here. Pack your men up right now.
It was all a lie!
The man who proved raptors can follow orders. You never thought how many millions a trained predator might be once?
They're gonna sell them.
Not Blue. They need it for something else.
What is that thing? They made it.
This is the most dangerous creature that ever walked the earth.
I say we shut this whole thing down. Hey, girl. You think what I'm thinking?
Genetic power has now been unleashed.
You can't put it back in the box.
Blue! If I don't make it back, remember you're the one who made me come here. I'll be all right. These creatures were here before us.
And if we're not careful, they're gonna be here after. Welcome to Jurassic World.
So I enjoyed Jurassic World. I don't know if you enjoyed the last one.
Oh yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I was pleased.
I thought it was pretty good too. I thought it was probably the best one since the original.
I agree.
And this one is not quite as good, but it is batty. It's really kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Because you have the island is turned into a volcano that's exploding. So you have dinosaurs running away from a volcano. So that's different.
Yeah. Stampedes. Of dinosaurs.
You have a part where Chris Pratt has been tranked by somebody, and so he's like, he's kind of waking up, and there's like law towards him, and he's like, "Oh no," and like swinging his arm. It's like really funny. Like it's random stuff like that.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of it is, but that like headbutting dinosaur,
Okay.
like the really thick skull. Mm-hmm. There's a whole sequence where he's just like charging at everything and everybody, just headbutting through everything, and it's hysterical. So you have all these like really weird like things they've thrown in there. It winds up being a haunted house movie with this like new super dinosaur at the end.
Yeah.
So he's like stalking the halls, like chasing after this little girl, and you're like, this is such a weird movie.
So what are they doing? Are they getting the dinosaurs off
They're
the
getting
island?
the dinosaurs off the island. It's supposed to be for a sanctuary, but then, of course, there's some evil dudes that want them for their evil reasons, and they want to make them into weapons because they're still doing that whole thing.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, it probably doesn't go
Probably
according
doesn't
to
go
plan.
to... Yeah. So you have all these like really out there ideas. There's a scene where Blue the raptor has been shot, and he's losing a lot of blood, and they want to save him. So they need to get some blood for him, and it's like, well... I guess we're going to have to do a blood transfusion with a T-Rex, as you do. So they have like this whole scene where they're crawling over this like tranked T-Rex to get blood out of it and then do a blood transfusion. It's like, this is so weird.
That sounds so
And there are a lot of people that are just like, oh my God, this movie's so dumb and so predictable. It's like, yeah, it is silly, but, you know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're taking them too seriously, it's a movie about dinosaurs.
Right. And I guess everybody still has this idea of, well, the first Jurassic Park was this really serious, thoughtful film. I'm like, it was, but we're 4 movies in at
where
this
do you
point.
go from there? I mean,
So having it be a blood transfusion and a volcano and haunted house movie with a dinosaur, like, I'm okay with all that. Like, it's not a great movie, but it's kind of crazy.
yeah.
And then it sets up, then there will be another movie.
Oh,
There'll be a 6th
course.
movie. And what they've set up at the end, I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be exciting. I mean, I could spoil it for you if you like.
Yeah.
The end, the dinosaurs in the real world.
See, and I knew that.
Yeah.
That's the way I figured. I'm like, okay, so the previews get away.
Yeah,
It's like,
they
okay,
did.
the volcano's going up, so they're getting all the dinosaurs off, and something bad happens, and now they're just loose.
They're just loose in the world.
Yeah,
So the next movie will literally be Jurassic World.
Yeah,
It
and-
even ends with Jeff Goldblum becoming like, welcome to a Jurassic World. And that's how the movie ends.
So that's awesome.
So the next one, and so some people are complaining that this movie was just kind of a placeholder to get to the next movie.
Well, you need that.
But you know what? It's fine because
That's
there's so
okay.
much weird stuff in this that I'm okay. It's still kind of just this movie to get to the next movie.
Yeah.
But the next movie, I don't know what. It's going to be like, you know, they have this scene, I think it might have even been in the trailer, where the T-Rex is like roaring at a lion. Like,
Yeah, that is in the trailer.
yeah. So the trailer kind of spoiled it. So I don't feel bad about spoiling it. The trailer
Yeah.
ruined the movie, unfortunately, which I hate when they do
That's
that.
what I figured. I'm like, okay, so now they're exactly that scene alone gives it away.
That moment with the T-Rex roaring at the lion is in the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah.
So they spoil, like, you can
They
just...
gave you the next movie
Right.
in the preview.
Yeah,
of
people are
this
going to be like,
one.
oh, right, I'm so excited for that. And then, so maybe that's why people are getting ticked at the movie, because they're like, oh, I'm so excited for that.
misleading, yeah.
And you're going to have to wait another 2 years before you get that movie.
Yeah, well,
But whatever.
It's entertainment.
All right, so I'd say see it if you're a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World fan. It's got dinosaurs. You got Chris Pratt. He's still funny and charismatic. And you just got a lot of weird stuff going on in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we'll switch into debate. So what category would you like to start with? We're going to do Best Spielberg movie, Best Jeff Goldblum movie, and the Best Dinosaur in the Jurassic Park series.
All right, let's start with dinosaur.
All right. Let me start a timer up for us so we can not run over here. All right. So why don't you start off with the Best Dinosaur?
All right, so you got to remind me of the name of it again.
A
'cause
Dilophosaurus.
The Dilophosaurus, the thing with the that spits in Newman's face in
Yeah.
the first Jurassic Park. It's not Newman, but you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Wayne Knight.
Yeah, Wayne Knight. Newman. Just him, because in my mind that was like the scariest freaking thing. The sound and how
Yeah.
it was just kind of watching him for a little while. Followed him up to the Jeep and just it spit in your eye, blinded you, and then it was a creepy dinosaur when
Yeah.
I was a kid. That one, more than the T-Rex, more than the Raptor, that one was the one that was like I was looking for in the bushes
Yeah.
as a kid. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it definitely makes an impression. I actually have a Uno Blast game now, where it's where you hit the dinosaur and it spits out the cards.
Awesome.
It's the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
So, and
Yep.
it makes the sound.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So, no, it's a good choice. My favorite I'm going with is Blue the Raptor from these last 2 Jurassic World movies, because he's kind of the first dinosaur they've actually given a personality to. Like, he has...
Yeah.
They kind of gone as far as making him, like, have human personality, but he can kind of think. They reveal that he can actually show empathy to humans and other creatures. And he kind of gets to be the hero, and he saves the day in Jurassic World. He saves the day in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and he's kind of cool.
That's pretty neat. That is the first dinosaur, other than just having the T-Rex throughout all of the movies.
Yeah.
To have a plot line.
Yeah.
To build a character inside the dinosaur. That's pretty neat. I didn't know that they had him back in the.
Yeah, they
in the
do,
new
and
one.
they have, like, as I said, they have this blood transfusion scene, and they actually have him like shed a tear, and you're just like, oh, so you're just like, oh, poor dinosaur.
Except it would chomp your face.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
know, at any other second.
I kind of feel like, and I had this thought, like it's kind of like with the Terminator movies, where the Raptors were the villains.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you switch it around, and now, oh, look, we got the good raptor
Yeah,
who's on our side.
Yeah, well.
Who's fighting against the other bad dinosaurs. Like, okay, you know, and so they really, like, established this bond with him, with Chris Pratt, and it's really kind of cool. So I really... And he's got a cool design, because he's different. He's got that blue streak on him, so he does look different than the other raptors.
Well, it was neat in the last one, where he was working with them, and they were learning tricks and, you know, how to take commands and things like that. So it's neat to see... you know, where that's going to go.
Yeah. But the Dilophosaurus is cool. Like,
yeah, it's the only time it's been in the movie, is it not? Just that first movie. And that's the one that, just terrified me as a kid. That one, I watched Jurassic Park in a drive-in movie theater in Florida on vacation, followed up by Cliffhanger.
okay, that's a pretty good... that's a solid...
It was a good one, yeah.
It's a solid double feature.
And Jurassic Park, that was the one that night, was just like, any sound, the rustling of the leaves, you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
You know, that thing it got me. It just,
and that's the thing about that first Jurassic Park movie, is that it actually was scary.
Yeah.
Of course, now, as I said before, you know, we're 5 movies in, it's kind of hard to be scared by these dinosaurs.
That'll loose, you're kind of used to it at that point.
And yet, we'd never seen anything like that in a movie before. So now it's 5 movies in, it's like we're really used to seeing those dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah.
Where do you go? Where does it go? And what new ones are going to be along that are going to be the new favorites? You know, new stuff hits every movie. There's a new dinosaur that they
unfortunately, they've kind of painted themselves into a corner with this last one, because they've unleashed all the dinosaurs and they're not making new ones anymore.
Yeah.
So they're kind of locked into the dinosaurs they have.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think that kind of covers the debate. So. Where do you...
Who's the best dinosaur?
Well, that's hard, because I have to agree with you on your dinosaur, because it's old school.
The Dilophosaurus.
It was old school, and it really got you.
Yeah.
But you make the best argument for Blue, because he does have a personality. So I think you're the winner on this one.
It's the right choice. Blue's a good one, because it is.
But I mean, I have to say, you know, the Dilophosaurus, like... It really is like it only had that one scene.
Right, but that's the one people...
That's the thing you remember.
Yeah,
you know?
the one that spits, and you never see it again. And
Yeah.
even on the ride, we went to Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And on the Jurassic Park ride, that's in there. That thing pops up and spits at you.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, so I mean, that's not a bad choice either. All right, so let's do best Spielberg. Like, this one will probably be a tougher debate.
Yes.
I guess I'll take lead on this one. I'm going to go with Jaws. It's hard. It's kind of hard just to pick one.
I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to pick one. You could really just pick any and argue, but I'm going to go with Jaws because it was his second film, and it was the first summer blockbuster movie.
Right.
It established that template.
Yep.
And it was really it's still kind of like the best version of that kind of movie. Like it has horror moments. That opening with the girl getting eaten is really scary. But then you have these funny moments, like just everything with Richard Dreyfuss is hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
Then you have
Robert. The classic drunk scene.
Then we have Robert Shaw in that, where he's talking about being in the water and the black eyes, and like it's like that scene is so good, and it does kind of have this adventure vibe. Like it is a scary movie, but it's also like these guys on an adventure to kill a shark and just hanging out, and it's got all these different things. So it's kind of like you kind of cover your bases. You get drama, you get scares, you get laughs. It's just like a complete package.
Yep. It's tough. Is going to be Saving Private Ryan, and I chose that because of all of the Spielberg films. That's the one in my mind that actually tells a true story.
Yeah.
You know, it was very real to life. The battles of Normandy and on D-Day, the beaches, and just, I don't know, it was a very interesting look into the wartime and what people go through and why they were on their mission. It was very, so many people are willing to die and lose their life to just save one man. And I don't think they were saving him. They were doing it for his mother, is how I took that movie.
Right.
Because, she had already lost the three sons, that they're the last one left. And now there's a law that won't allow all the brothers of a family to go into the military for that very reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it covers, you got your dramatic parts. There are, some humor, dry humor throughout, but in the character development, you see is great.
Yeah. I mean, you do have, in terms of comedy, you do have Matt Damon talking about his like brothers back home.
Right, yeah.
And that scene was entirely improvised. That was just him going off.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That was a great scene. Yeah, up in the hay bale, catching his brother, messing around, throwing the thing. Yeah, that was great. And him trying to understand why these men went through what they did for that reason. And then, him making his stand at the bridge is like, I'm not going anywhere. These are my men, too. And then that final battle scene, Tom Hanks obviously loses his life. He said, earn it, earn this. It was powerful. That one really...
I mean, so I guess what it comes down to is we're debating, because Spielberg really has two sides. He has his fun, blockbuster side, and then he has his serious drama side. And we've kind of picked both. We kind of picked the best of both sides. So so it's kind of what is Spielberg best at, and it's kind of hard. And so I mean, Jaws, when it comes to mainstream entertainment for the masses,
Jaws,
really nobody does it better. I could have picked Jurassic Park. I could have picked Indiana Jones.
All the Indiana Jones, most of the day, I'm like, could it be Indiana Jones? Or those are the best? But those are the best, action adventure movies from, the 80s. I remember playing Indiana Jones as a kid, but...
so it's tough.
It is.
But, as I said, and you were just talking about character development, and, Jaws, I never read the Jaws book, but I've heard so many things that say the Jaws book wasn't very good, and that they actually made a better movie out of the book.
So you never hear that.
Because they put so much character moments in there. There's that great moment where Roy Scheider is just making faces with his son. The fact that they took the moment to just do a scene like that is amazing.
Well, I'll give you that. I'll tell you, it terrifies my daughter to this day, and she's never seen it.
Yeah.
Just the video, just the clip on Netflix, Jaws, she's like, ah! And she's out of the room. You know what I mean? It was you've never even seen the movie. And it still terrifies her. So he succeeded in that. Yeah. I mean, it did terrorize millions of people. It is two ends of the spectrum. Mine is on the more of the real side. That it's him telling a real story.
Right.
Even though I don't know if it was based on a true event. But
no, but it feels real.
And it does feel real.
And you got that opening. That opening, which is, still...
The truck driving up the long driveway, and that's... A lot of people saw it. It was a hard movie. It was a cool movie. My grandfather was getting ill around that time, and he served in World War II, so that was just a cool... I don't know. That one blew me away. The realism that he brought to that movie, more than any other, I think, was what got me for Saving Private Ryan.
All right. Let's see. All right, we're basically out of time. All right.
Okay. So, I would have to say, entertainment purposes, you go and see a Spielberg movie to be entertained. But those movies, you think of Jaws and Indiana Jones, they're more early, where Saving Private Ryan was further in his career. So, I think I'm going to have to go with Jason on this one, just because it's more of the road he took to get where he is. I mean, because you go and see a Spielberg movie, you're going to be entertained regardless. But to be entertained and really be touched, that's hard to do. So I'm going to have to go with that one.
That's true. I mean, because at that point, he'd really kind of cracked how to make an entertaining,
masterful director,
a blockbuster movie that somebody wanted to see.
And the crazy thing was, in 1993, he did Jurassic Park and Schindler's List.
Yeah.
In the same year.
And talk about two ends of the spectrum, my God.
Right.
I've seen Schindler's List once and have no reason to ever see it again. It was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. But I haven't actually seen it because I know that I have to emotionally commit to it.
And you'll only want to do it once because he's just as masterful then, at pulling that emotion out of people. And that one's just ridiculous.
All right, so next, because Jeff Goldblum does return in Fallen Kingdom. He bookends the movie. He's this congressional meeting, and so he's at the beginning of the movie, at the end of the movie. You get maybe 3 minutes of Goldblum in the whole movie. But hey, 3 minutes of Goldblum in any movie is wonderful.
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean.
So we're gonna do best Jeff Goldblum performance. So you can take lead on this one.
All right. So, again, this is hard because it's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great in everything. But what got me the most, and his most memorable role for me is going to be the Grand Master in Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
If Jeff Goldblum was to be sucked into a black hole and dumped into this planet in real life, that's what would happen. This is just the natural progression of what happens if Jeff Goldblum ventures off into the cosmos. He becomes the Grand Master of this trash planet. You know,
I mean, he could be returning to his home planet for that matter.
You know, it's it just seems like that is him having the most fun he can in his career as a character. You know, and it was just great. His mannerisms in that were just on point. He still acts like a 20-year-old sex symbol in his 70s now. You know, it's great. And Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, the Grand Master. Very. You wonder who he was, how he got there. You know, what was he? Well, I picture him as like an office temp. That's all he did. He got coffees and shit like that, and he really held a chip on his shoulder. So he found himself in this planet alone. In some.
With his melty stick.
Where'd the melty stick come from? They have all this technology in the doorways to every galaxy in the world, and this is where they choose to build their thing in this trash heap. But hey, he's got it going on.
And what the great thing about that was it kind of brought Jeff Goldblum back.
Yeah,
like
I'm still here, everybody. Yeah. I'm the Grand Master.
Yeah, and you're right. You are the Grand Master. Right? But as great as that is, because I did love that. Like I could just watch Jeff Goldblum.
It made the whole movie for me.
Because he's back, he's doing all these interviews, and I could just watch him talk for like an hour. Like he could just talk about, grass. It grows very slowly, but it's fascinating. And it would be the best hour of my life, just listening to him talk about grass growing.
Anything.
But I got to go back to kind of the movie that made him, The Fly, because it's such an intricate performance. And there's a film that was a remake that is vastly superior, which you never hear of a remake being so much better than the original.
Right.
And it's psychologically interesting. You see he's this mad scientist, which he plays so often and plays so well. And he's fused his DNA with a fly. And it's this really tragic story of him slowly disintegrating into this fly creature. And he's falling in love with Gina Davis, and it's really poignant. He becomes this disgusting creature, and by the end, when Gina Davis has to kill him, and he's this disgusting creature, she's crying, and you feel it. He's this creature that is gross and disgusting, but you're I feel for it, and it's because of everything Jeff Goldblum had done before that. And it was at that point where he was still this oddly appealing sex symbol, which is
I never got the sex symbol for why he was such a sex symbol, or if it's just his persona, and he's just I'm going to be sexy.
Yeah.
So
somehow,
I'm sexy now.
Somehow he was this kind of weird 80s sex symbol. Earth girls are easy too, and you can kind of see that. He's not this macho guy, but he's kind of the geek sex symbol, and it's gives hope to geeks in the world. All right, women are attracted to that. Maybe I got a shot. So
all I have to do is learn to splice my DNA.
Just not with a fly. If I can do it with something else, if I can splice my DNA with Jeff Goldblum, there we go. So yeah, I would go with that. It was tough because I kind of wanted to go with Jurassic Park. Because that was sort of the forerunner for just seeing full-blown Jeff Goldblum. I feel like the Grand Master is just Jeff Goldblum unchecked.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. He's the Grand Master, damn it.
And you get to see that a little bit with Ian Malcolm. Ian Malcolm is such a great character. But I feel in terms of just doing a fully rounded, fully developed character with an arc and a tragedy, and you get to just see this guy just completely fall apart. His best performance, I would say, is The Fly.
I did like The Fly.
Yeah.
I will give you that. The last scene, you do feel for him because he's not a bad guy.
No.
But you can't have that
And every
You
time
just can't have a
I
giant
see
fly
a
running
fly
around
land
puking on
somewhere,
people.
every time I see a fly land something, you're puking, aren't
Yeah,
you?
you're
puking
you're
on me right
puking
now,
all
aren't you?
over
Just
me.
get off of me.
Acidy puke.
So yeah, I guess that kind of ends the
The
debate.
beginnings of Jeff Goldblum to the hopefully not the end of.
Hopefully not the end of Joe Goldblum. I want more Goldblum in everything.
Yes, just throw him in everything.
Yeah,
2 minutes
everything.
of Goldblum in every
Yep.
movie is
It
going to
doesn't
make
matter.
the movie
He can just
way
come
better.
in and just be like,
Right.
the characters go to a fast food restaurant. He could just take their order. Like I'd be
That's it.
fine with that.
I would never leave the fast food.
No,
joint.
it'd just be like,
be sitting there
you
talking to
want
Jeff
a
Goldblum.
number one? Do you want
That's
to
very interesting.
supersize that? Yes, you do.
I think you've made quite a clear argument on.
Yeah, I
'cause
got
it
beat
is
on the
easy
fly.
to
I
be-
give him the fly.
It is easy to just be yourself and enjoy the character, and that's
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
But as an actor, you strive for a role like that where you nail it, and he nailed
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He did nail it.
And I feel like what he did in The Fly it's very much still his Jeff Goldblum personality, but he's managed to infuse it into this character.
A character, a true different character
Right.
than Jeff Goldblum.
But you can still see flashes
Right.
of Jeff
right.
Goldblum in there. So, yeah.
Very good.
So, yeah.
All right.
I think
Good win, sir.
Yeah. All right. I think we still got time here, so we can just talk about something else, I suppose. What would you say? I know we kind of already said this, but what would you say? I mean, of the Jurassic Park series, I think we can all agree the first one is the best.
Oh, without a doubt, yes.
But of the sequels, which one do you think is the best?
The last one, Jurassic New World, or
Jurassic World, yeah.
Jurassic World. Yeah, for sure. Although the third, when they brought back the original cast,
Yeah.
or at least Sam
Neill. Yeah.
Sam Neill, that one was pretty decent. It was okay.
Yeah, I like the third one. A lot of people rag on it. They kind of make fun of the moment where it's a dream sequence, but there's the raptor that goes, Alan.
Yeah.
And like people are like, oh, this is evidence that movie is awful. I'm like, it's 2 seconds in a movie.
Right.
And it's kind of funny.
Yeah. The second one, it was just rubbish.
Yeah, I couldn't. It's such a dark movie, and it's still Spielberg. Like but it's just. And I read the book, and like Mike Crichton didn't even want to write the book, but they were like, "We want to make a sequel. Can you write a book?" And I read the book, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I liked the book. I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. There's gonna be these cool sequences," and then didn't even follow the book
No.
at all.
Nope.
I'm like, "What
Nope.
the
They
heck?"
veered right off from it, and it did not work.
Yeah,
It
and they
did
added
not
all
work.
these characters because originally the book was just, I think there was maybe 7 characters, and there was the good side and the bad side. And in the movie, they give the bad side 100, like an army of 100 people, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
And it sucks that that's the worst movie because, of course, it's a Jeff Goldblum movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And they managed. The thing is,
they tried to turn him into an action hero throughout that, and I don't think that's.
And they
worked
managed to
very
make
well.
the thing is they managed to make Jeff Goldblum boring in a movie.
Wicked, yes,
which is astounding.
Because they tried to make him an action
Right.
star, and he's not the action star guy. He can have action moments
Right.
and be physical and things like that because he is a good-sized man.
Yeah,
but
like Independence Day, but he needed
Right.
to be paired with somebody else.
Right.
So yeah, I would agree. The worst is Lost World.
Yeah.
I would probably go. I guess I go Jurassic World. This last one, Fallen Kingdom.
Yep.
3, and then Lost World at the very bottom for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But nothing can touch Jurassic Park.
No, it was excellent in every way.
Yeah.
That the scenes where they're underground having to get the power back on,
Yeah.
and the hand comes falling out, all
Yeah.
chewed apart. You're like, oh shit, they're loose. They're loose, and you're like, oh, they're down there now.
Yeah.
They're smarter than they appear.
Yeah. So yeah, we're already done. It goes quicker than anybody imagines.
Yeah,
It just
that was fun.
Flies by. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing next week. I still haven't reviewed the Incredibles, so maybe we'll do that. And then in 2 weeks, it's Ant-Man versus Ant-Man the Wasp.
Yes.
So check
Very
that out.
excited
So
to
come
see
back
that.
and get lost in movies again.